I turn to GATE. The PNM recognizes that the best expenditure this country could ever make is investment in the development of our young people. That is why, from its inception in 1956 to today, one would see a sustained focus on expenditure on all aspects of education, from primary to secondary to the variety of tertiary offerings. This commitment resulted in the education being the largest component of successive national budgets, and 2012 is no different. Mr. Speaker, it is our view that as we invest in young people, we do two things. We enhance the quality of life of the next generation, thereby improving the society as a whole. And two, we provide each willing beneficiary with the tools and skills and opportunity to allow him or her to participate in productive activities according to their own choices, in a way as to allow each one to meaningfully contribute to national development. It is against this background that the GATE program is to be viewed and defended. Mr. Speaker, it is no secret that when members of the current government were in the opposition, they mercilessly attacked in the most vicious way every aspect of government expenditure, describing each initiative of the previous government as an example of waste and extravagance. So concerned were the young people of Trinidad and Tobago, who viewed their future prospects as being threatened by the negative position of the then opposition, that during the last general election campaign, UNC aspirants had to reverse themselves and make a public pledge not just to continue to support GATE, but that they promised to open the gate and expand the program. The GATE program, if not properly managed, could be exposed to some instances of waste and malpractice. And that is why from its inception, it has had specific guidelines and has been subjected to continuous audit in an effort to eliminate all aspects of abuse in all its manifestations. There can be no agreement, or there can be no disagreement with the current government's stated intention to continue the program of audit and improvement in the quality of the program. However, Mr. Speaker, we have serious concerns that this government continues not to understand the fundamental but subtle difference between the concept of education and the concept of training. As a result, it is treating with the GATE program in a way that will fundamentally derail the original concept of equal opportunity, which was re-established by the PNM when GATE replaced the imbalances that were inherent in the dollar-for-dollar program. We are concerned that under the guise of audit and examination, the government is more interested in closing rather than opening doors. We are disturbed by the prospect of this government limiting access to the program through the use of some as yet undetermined means test, which could see some people being excluded for all kinds of reasons. A level of unease now exists among our tertiary student population since the government began addressing this program and hinting at policies without the necessary details and commitment to the original purpose. It is an established fact, too commonly borne out by concrete examples, that this government cannot be trusted and ought not to be trusted, so that even when it speaks to calm the fears of young people and their parents, the government will not be trusted to keep its word. This unhappy state of affairs is a constant source of worry to parents and students who look to GATE as their passport to a stairway of achieving their life's goal. Mr. Speaker, means testing students before they can access the GATE program may sound good to some, but such an arrangement in the hands of persons of ill intent could be devastating to the aspirations of others. carry out means testing without transparency and in the absence of proper socio-economic database against which to do so is to so disadvantage some people as to put them at the mercy of others. Even if the government is to make appointments to some board or some similar group, given this government's track record with appointments, could you imagine what would happen with the lives of future young people? What would happen with the lives and the future of those young people who will now be placed in the hands of corrupt and otherwise unsuitable officials? Mr. Speaker, the allocation for GATE in 2009 to 2011 averaged $625 million per year. The government claimed that it was auditing and eliminating abuse within the program. Yet we see instead of resulting in a reduction in expenditure, that the cost of the program in 2012 has ballooned to $834 million without one word from the Minister of Finance. This represents an increase of approximately a third at a time when the government claims it was eliminating waste and abuse in the program. Mr. Speaker, we would like a thorough explanation from the government on this matter as to how the student population grew as compared to 2011 and 10 and 9. We would also like to know if there were new service providers who are accredited in the last 2 years, who they were, and how much they were paid. The Auditor General needs to look very closely in this sudden explosive growth of the GATE expenditure to ensure that this well-intentioned and worthy program is not used by elements within this government to further enrich themselves and their friends with taxpayers' money while pretending to be cleaning up the program. Mr. Speaker, we caution the government to tread carefully on this program and demonstrate a willingness to finding the $600 million in ever-increasing large national budget to continue to make the investment in all our young people, those who look to GATE as their passport to the future. We also would like the government to operate the program in such a way as to eliminate the constant fear and stress currently experienced by thousands of young persons and their parents every time the government makes a statement on GATE. Mr. Speaker,